Okay, so I will now share my screen and
Got it.
we welcome you to Let's Talk Climate and the World House Game Show. Tonight we're going to be playing the Earth Charter Treasure Hunt. My friend Susan Nugent, and we have some guests here. So right now it's time to play.
The Earth Charter game. I want you to imagine that you have the Earth in your hands. This is the Earth right here. You are responsible for it. And I want you to think about what you do in your responsibility for that Earth. Okay. I try to do a lot of things, but one of the most difficult things that I do is I try to keep primarily a vegetarian diet with fish also. But it's difficult. It's not easy. It's something I'm doing, and I'm totally doing it for the Earth. Okay, so I've got this fragile Earth here, and I'm going to toss it to
And
Helen.
I want
And
to say,
Helen is going to say, Helen is going to tell us what she does for the Earth. And so we'll learn each other's names. We'll pass that Earth around as we go. Sue, you had a comment?
that's okay. I was just going to read one of the slides. It's all right. Go ahead.
So
Okay, so do I say I'll record? Is that when I say that now?
You can,
you can say that.
Okay,
yes.
so I'm catching the ball and I'm going to be the
No,
recorder.
the
of what-
Earth.
I am catching the Earth. I've got the whole world in my hands.
You
There's
have
a song for that.
Yeah.
And I'm understanding that the question is, what do I do for the planet, for Earth, with the recognition that climate's changing is going to impact the world in my lifetime? It already is doing that.
And the simple way to say that, what's your climate action?
Okay, so I'm gonna record your climate actions, and that'll happen after I get to record mine. My climate action is that I've been replacing my gasoline powered equipment that I love doing yard work, and I now have electric battery powered tools to work in my yard. Okay, I'm going to toss the ball on to Sue Blythe.
I'm Sue Blythe, and I am in Gainesville, Florida. And I am writing a little children's story to help get people involved in this climate conversation. And I'll pass it on to Anjana.
Yeah, hi. This is all new to me, this gaming and this subject also, the way you are handling. So I'll just try to keep short. I mean, as you know, I respect the climate very much, the environment that I live in. I'm very selective about it. Plus, I believe in austere living, live with a minimum. I'm a fully vegetarian, no fish, no chicken, no eggs. Totally vegetarian, and this is not today, it's from the birth, that's the culture. So that helps us a lot. Plus, respect plants. I have lots of plants, but I've still not started growing vegetables. That is one of my dreams, that someday I will do it. Okay, I'll pass the ball to somebody else.
Who would you choose?
I don't see the names, so Sue, help me choose one.
How about Ellen?
Okay, I've got the Earth, and what I do for the Earth is I talk about climate change with everyone I meet and everywhere I go, to the extent that sometimes people cross the street when they see me coming and they don't invite me to their dinner parties. I'm going to pass the ball to Frank.
I act as if the planet was my home and enjoy work with recycling and having good conversation with people. And I have used the unfortunate circumstances of the COVID to explain to people that we are one humanity, one planet. And if something affects one of us, it can affect the rest of us. And if COVID is not a good example, then breathing the air is, because that's how we get COVID, by breathing the air next to somebody who has it. Thank you.
Who do you want to pass to?
I want to pass to Miss Shannon Prosper. Can you hear us?
Shannon, you're muted if you're talking. Okay, let's pass it on to Darwin.
Okay.
Okay. I take climate solutions like doing environmental cleanups, clearing the plastics, and doing clearing the trash. Yeah, just to keep the environment clean and providing climate solutions. Yeah, thank you. And I'm gonna pass it to Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon, we're not hearing you if you're there. We hope you can come in shortly. So, Susan, do you have another question for
Yeah.
us?
Okay, so we want to first off, we wish to become a group that really listens to each other. So we're going to pass this one more time, and this time we're going to think about our hope for the future, right? What is our hope for Earth? And for me, I think my hope is that within my lifetime, that we will be able to start reversing what has happened thus far. That we will be able to see that the fossil fuels are depleted, that things are changing. And it doesn't have to be, it won't be, in my lifetime, it won't be a temperature change, but I hope we see that the Earth is changing. And I'm going to pass this Earth to Darwin. What's your hope for the Earth, Darwin?
Yeah,
What
my
do you
hope
hope?
for the Earth is getting to a place where everyone will be environmental conscious, even those that refuse that climate change does not exist. Just like the way, you know, how the world became like united to fight COVID. I just hope we can reach to that mark where everyone will just like join forces so that we can try to clear out climate change, because climate change is such a devastating aspect which affects every nation worldwide. So my hope is that one day we just, all of us, like even though that are not environmental conscious, even though that deny that there's no climate change, just like agree to that, then join us who are already in the fight, in the forefront of trying to like table down climate change. Then that's my hope for the future. That's what I look forward so much to. Thank you. I'm gonna pass it to Frank.
As Darwin said, I'm hoping that we come to a point where we agree that the planet is all our home, one family. Then the wars, the famines, all of those can go away. And sometimes I enjoy when I see Earth view from it far away from the planet. It's just like a little spot in the world's creation. And that is our spot. We need to be united in love, in harmony, and the priority being preserving that that little place. Because as unfortunately this other war in what do you call it, causing it, every person around the world is being affected by it. So if we didn't think we was one world, one family, it is. Thank you.
And Frank, to whom do you pass the earth?
A suit.
There we go. Well, I uh, long to see, and I hope we can hasten the day when we will see that we are one human family and one Earth community with a common destiny. And I figure if we're all going there together, we might as well make our story a good one, right? And let me pass it to Shannon if you're able to join us.
I'm having a little trouble, but I'm here.
Yay.
Yay. So I think the question is, what do we want to see happen for the earth, right? And I guess I just want it to, I want my great grandchildren, one who is on the way, to be able to go out to this beautiful lake that I live on and drink the water. And I want him or her to be able to go out in the yard as I did today on a break from a Zoom call and pick wild strawberries and put them in their mouth and have the sweet taste of that. I want them to be able to be in relationship with the bees that are being lazy and walk among the Joe Pye weed while they take their sunning in the middle of the day and feel like they're among relatives. That's what I want. I want us to understand our relationship with the earth and each other, and to have those things that my great grandchildren can be able to get up in the morning and see that sunrise the way that I do today. So thank you. That's what I want.
Beautiful. And to whom do you pass the earth?
I am having trouble seeing on the screen, so I will leave that up to another person to just take up the mantle.
Okay, let's pass that earth to Anjana.
Yeah, thanks. I personally would like to see more greenery. You know, we sustain all the greenery on the earth and less destruction, because the nature itself through fire and everything is still destroying forests and everything. And there is also a threat of rising waters, you know, and sea levels. So living, you know, peacefully on the earth, breathing more oxygen, you know, through more greenery. That is what I would like to see, because it feels very fresh and calm, you know, when we breathe more oxygen. I don't know how many of you have been in an environment with 99% of the oxygen. You know, there are some facilities out there, but the full oxygen breath is very fresh. So more oxygen, you know, making machinery, you know, the earth produces, and if we can sustain and retain that, that will be great.
And could you pass that earth to someone else?
Okay, I don't know. Ellen, did you speak?
No, okay.
Okay, take it up.
My hope for the planet is that there's no need for a specialty in psychology for eco-despair and eco-anxiety. Okay. Let's see.
Big Helen or Terne.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking Helen. Okay.
Well, my hope, there, I caught the ball, and I'm going to go for the near future, that our political and business leaders recognize the role and the importance that they have in finding the solutions, because they are there. I throw it to Frank. Or who is that?
I think
Oh, I see Ternay is also. with
Erin's
us.
on, yeah.
Ternay, do you understand the game we're playing?
Not quite. I arrived later than sooner. What is the game?
Well, we're passing a ball around the earth.
An
We're
earth.
passing the earth around in our precious hands. And the question we're answering is, what is your hope that you would like to see?
I love to see continued sun shining. And by it, that means the air is clear and is not polluted. And therefore, then we have all the greeneries we want, the water and all the animals, and can survive and thrive because of that freshness that we have around. So I really love to see sunshine.
I think at this point, Sue, you have some music for us.
I do. Let me share my screen. What I figure is, as we are learning to live as one human family, we've got to make it some joyful noise, right?
We need to wake up. We need to wise up. We need to open our eyes and do it now, now, now. We need to build a better future. And we need to start right now. We're on a planet that has a problem. We've got to solve it, get involved and do it now, now, now. We need to build a better future. And we need to start right now. We need to build a better future. And we need to start right
Mm.
Wow.
That's moving.
Fabulous. That's fabulous.
I want you to know that was done in Belgium, and they taught it to school children and asked them to bring out their families and friends on one weekend. And they had 380,000 people across Belgium come to do that
Wow.
one
Wow.
weekend.
That's
And so
remarkable.
We
should do
can
that,
we
yeah.
can do that kind of thing right here too. So
That is so powerful.
That
yes.
is really something. Very joyous. Yeah.
Whoops. And so now it's time to play Illuminating the Earth Charter. And the way we play this game is we're going to bring light and life to the values and principles for a thriving Earth. And here we go. The Earth Charter is a document that was launched in the year 2000. We're our 22nd year now going into this. And we have 4 pillars. The first is respect and care for the community of life. And Helen, would you read these as I go through?
Sure. We are one human family and one Earth community with a common destiny.
For ecological integrity.
You want me to read all 4 of them?
Yes, please.
Okay. The protection of Earth's vitality, diversity, and beauty is a sacred trust.
Third pillar is social and economic justice.
to ensure that communities at all levels guarantee human rights and fundamental freedoms and provide everyone an opportunity to realize his or her full potential.
And the fourth pillar is democracy, nonviolence, and peace.
Recognize that peace is the wholeness created by right relationships with oneself, other persons, other cultures, other life, earth, and the larger whole of which we are all a part.
Thank you. So we have these four pillars, and what we're going to do now is, actually, I'm not as prepared as I thought. I was going to have a second.
Let me help on that, Sue. May I
Yes.
help?
Yes, you
Sue?
may. If you
Okay.
just read these, I can put them, well, now you see.
Well, what I was thinking, and Sue and I have worked through this a little bit, but we're both a little fuzzy on what we're doing each time. But what I think we're going to do at this point is think about what we said. Remember what we said for what we were doing for the earth, and remember what we said for what our hope was for the earth. And if we take a look at these four pillars, where do they go?
Yeah.
Is it
So-
under respect and care, or ecological integrity, or social and economic justice, or democracy, nonviolence, and peace? And so we're going to think about what we said and what everyone else here said, and where does it go? For example, I said,
Well, wait. We have
Okay.
Helen. Helen has got all of them that we said. And so she's just gonna, I'm gonna ask her to say one, and we're gonna figure out which of these four pillars it goes under. And I'm going to try to keep tabs of all that. So Helen, what is the first one?
The first one is the respect and care for the community of life.
no, at this
No,
point,
what is the
what
first
did
one?
we respond? What did people say?
The
Oh,
responses.
so
that
going
you
back to the
copied down.
questions.
Yes.
Okay, so the first response to Sue was yours to have a vegetarian diet, and that it's not easy, but that's what you are doing.
And so where does that go? Under which of these?
I'm thinking maybe two. What do you think?
I would agree, ecological integrity.
Anyone else have a comment? I wondered about
Number one,
the community of life.
yeah, I kind of saw that.
And this is definitely a conversation, folks. We haven't got the answer. There is no the answer. We're just trying to figure out where we find we're working. But so either one or two, anybody want to call it?
How about the person who said it gets to call it?
Well, I think that when we have these pillars with so many actions that can be done, they're going to fall under more than one pillar. And that's
Oh,
the beauty of it, because then those pillars are stronger.
Ooh. I
Nice,
like that.
Helen. Very
Yeah.
nice.
You make a web, not
Yes.
buckets, but a web.
Well, that's what we're gaining all our strength from, is people coming together, that synergy.
Whoa.
So why can't these things be stronger too?
Good job, Helen.
Yeah, absolutely, Helen. This is Shannon, and
Yeah.
sorry I'm not able to join you in the regular way, but I am here, and that was my thought immediately was, does this not express the interconnectedness of all our actions in the results?
Oh, I
So,
like it.
yeah, I
Oh,
think
Yeah,
it speaks to that, right?
Yes.
maybe the graphic should be more in a circle, and maybe there's a way with a whiteboard to draw the lines as people talk.
I like it, Ellen.
Okay, let me see if I can do something about that.
But
Oh boy, I love that idea. Stop share. I'm going to,
Open the whiteboard.
Zoom has a what? Can you do it?
Can I do it?
Yes. Can you open the whiteboard?
Let me see who gave me permission. Yep, new whiteboard. Open and collaborate. All participants can edit. Okay. All right. Do you see it?
Yes, I see a
Okay.
whiteboard.
Okay, so I don't know how to import the text.
Maybe we could just do like 1, 2, 3, 4
There you go.
around.
Okay, one. Sure. A little tedious.
Well, this gives us some food for thought. How are we going to do this next time so that it works really easily? And I love the idea of using the whiteboard. I've never used it, but I know it's possible.
Okay, so it's not even, so, so we already had, want to draw a line.
Use it like a clock, with 1 and then
1, 2,
3.
3, 4. Yeah, would be good. But that's all right. This is fine for now.
Yeah, this is just playing with it. All right, so now we can do a line, or even better, an arrow, because you said 1 and 2 go together for Sue. Okay. So Helen, what was the next person's one?
Well, do you want to put the word on it of vegetarianism?
Oh, sure, hold on.
Do we remember what the pillars are?
I can tell you if you want to put one word by one. Yeah, there it goes.
1 would be,
1 is life.
I don't know. what
2
this-
is
This is life.
life is number 1.
You need a T for text.
LIFE.
Okay,
Yeah. 2 is ecology. 3 is justice.
oh,
And 4 is peace.
can probably make this more elegant, but we're getting the idea.
Yeah, we're getting the idea. This is wonderful. Thank you.
I really like this.
Yes.
All right.
Helen, what was the second one?
The second comment from somebody?
Yes.
Okay, I was the second person, and it was to reduce the use of biofuels in my lawn equipment to go electric.
So
Sounds
one,
like
one,
ecology. What do you think? 3 maybe?
Yeah, I think that's the ecology pretty clear.
about fossil free as our topic.
Fossil free would be ecology.
And if you were fossil fuel free, guess what?
But
You would be supporting life for sure. And you would be impacting justice and economic justice and justice, resource justice. And you would be, what was number 4?
that
Peace.
working towards peace.
Yeah, it would create peace because right now we are challenged with conflict over resource
Yeah.
sharing.
Woo!
Right, good one. All right, yeah. So this is good. We're able to see how they all fit in, how each one fits into many, if not all, of these categories. So yeah, Helen, what's next?
The next one was Sue Blythe's comment that what she is doing is writing these kind of stories and creating this magical game to get people to have conversations.
Mm.
So,
Storytelling.
well, in the storytelling, you're covering all the topics about why it'll be, why climate, when we have the climate change going in the right direction, we'll be touching all 4 of these pillars.
Yeah.
Because you're then in the room where it's happening under the roof of the 4 pillars.
Right. Beautiful.
Okay, so where do I put storytelling? In the middle?
In the middle, yes. Don't you think?
Sure.
Yep.
Well, I think part of this story is that, you know, and part of the game, if we want to call it a game, the Earth Charter about realizing it is getting to the point where we understand any action impacts all of these.
Yes. Yes.
Good point.
Excellent.
Okay, so the next item was what was mentioned by Anjana. And she was talking about living a life of austerity, simplicity. Her life has already led her into the vegetarian lifestyle, and it's a respect for the plants and the life of all things that she shares with that action.
Yeah, then I also talked about oxygen making machinery of the earth, you know, and sustaining that.
That was your second comment.
Yes.
That we'll come up to that one on the next bit. I got, yep.
Simplicity, conscious consumerism. Okay.
I'm just saying, I'm just feeding back the answer to the first question, which is what is it that you are doing to improve the impact of climate change?
Good.
Okay. So
Okay.
did we identify where that is? Vegetarian again?
But under the conscious consumerism of vegetarian.
I put words in Anjana's mouth.
That's right. I think you described it better than I could.
Looking for how we do color.
Okay,
Next.
okay, I didn't know if we were ready, still talking. I think the conversations that are coming out as we see how this works with all the pillars is important for us to feel too.
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay. Okay, Ellen's comment was about what she is doing for climate changes by talking about it with everybody she meets and chasing them across the street. No.
Yeah. Kind of.
But it's become part of her daily conversation. So that would be, well,
That's life. That's
it's
just-
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's under the roof too with that one.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's the same thing as storytelling. I mean, same idea. All right, so
Right.
if I can move my box to there. Okay. Okay.
Because when we talk about it all the time, that's where it's like that umbrella again. Everything comes under it and you're able to, somebody can make a comment about something happening in the world. You can see, that reminds me about how climate change is going to play into this.
Mhm. I do that. Makes people crazy.
Okay. Frank was the next person and he was talking about the thing he does for climate change is to recycle the materials he has and reduce the use of plastic, I believe. And then also having the conversations about one planet, one people, and that we are all connected. Right out of the Earth Charter.
And certainly the one people is peace.
Yeah.
I want to share what I did this morning at our realtors meeting. We were talking about something and it involved somebody who was being mean. And I says, why can't people just be nice? And several people turned around because I was sitting in the back of the room and they were all like, yeah, that's right. It's just that just the simplicity of it. And I thought, sometimes you just don't know how people are going to react. But anyways, I had a little giggle on myself with that. Okay.
I like that.
Shannon, you weren't in the room yet with that question. Do you want to say anything now?
Sure. Yeah, I do several things, but probably the most predominant is I never use a plastic bag.
Never. Okay.
Never use a plastic bag. Yeah.
That's good ecology.
And I give people lots of grace who are in the process of transitioning.
Oh my
So
goodness. I love that.
That is important. Give them the grace.
And provide them the materials. So I have extra bags and I frequently give people, cloth bags.
Mhm.
Well, that, that for sure.
Okay, so Ellen, are you finding a place for
Oh my
Shannon's
gosh, well,
comment?
ecology for sure.
Yeah,
So I'm just, see if I can't make it I can't make it go around, but I can do that. I mean, it goes here too.
And I would say it supports life because we're not just talking, we are talking human life, but we're also talking all life, right?
yes.
Plastics have not been positive for life. It's not life affirming. And then I think it fits into, of course, the ecology, but it also fits into justice. And I say that because, again, it's about how we're fighting over resources at this point in time and what that does to contribute to that, to that issue.
Got it.
Yeah, so.
Right, absolutely. Fossil fuels are part of the way we produce plastic. And
Right.
until we stop that use, we'll never have climate justice.
Mhm. And you can't have peace without having justice.
Right, right.
Okay.
Okay, and then Darwin, he was the last one to add to this question, and he was talking about how he is out there doing environmental cleanups, collecting plastic, reducing the use of plastics. So we're again, and I think a lot of that you're showing other people how important it is. So
And
you want to talk?
May
Oh,
I
is he-
add something? I know Darwin is also helping to plant a lot of trees over there in Africa. And so I would love to see that go on our list.
Okay. That was it for the first round of the questions.
Super. It sounds like the cleanups are life, ecology, justice, and peace. Seems like right in the middle again, right?
Right.
Okay, well then, let me see if I can move them. Ah.
I love this chart, Ellen. I want to learn how to do this.
Me too.
It's not hard to learn how to do. It's learning how to do it right is the trick.
So
Well, yeah,
Ellen,
'cause
let me just ask, it says on my screen, it says you are co-editing Ellen Siegel's whiteboard. And I don't know if it's possible for me to also.
Yeah,
write
you
on
guys
it?
you can write on here. I'm not understanding why the coloring isn't here.
Oh, I just picked that up. I did. Look at that. I can move it.
Yeah.
I can
I'm
do
not seeing you move anything. What'd you move?
one people. One people. We got light
I'm just seeing Ellen's chart. Where do you see one
Yeah.
people?
down here at the right now. I just moved it all
Oh,
over.
there
the
it is.
place.
It just showed up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had it.
Maybe.
All right, I'm trying to move cleanups.
Oh, okay, I had to make that screen bigger.
Trying to move cleanups and tree planting into the middle. And then the double arrow.
Do you think we can add our hopes to this?
We'll see. Let's try. Ellen, you want to lead us with the,
Okay, I was just thinking if there's a way to have the arrows a different color for each person's comments, right?
I have been desperately trying to see this button up. There's the button for color. We can. All right, pick a
Okay.
color.
Next
Ellen.
time.
What color?
What
was-
is your hope for the future as we see climate change? Sue, you said that that we will correct the impact. So that would be all four of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going for the whole enchilada. And it's vegetarian, gluten-free,
Yes,
no
yes.
plastic.
All these other things. I wish I had thought of half the ones that have been put up there. They're wonderful.
Yeah, the other thing I think that just dawns on me, as we're doing this and knowing that they fit under each pillar at some point, it's kind of like that whole thing. There's no wrong door to enter into this conversation.
Absolutely.
Has-
Oh, perfect.
Where regardless of which pillar you enter into, you will interact with all of the pillars. So it doesn't matter whether you enter in at 1 or 2 or 3 or 4,
Right.
right? And so that's kind of like that's the win-win of this particular game.
Love it.
Oh, I love it. Sue, did
Yeah.
you take notes on that?
Well, I got it recorded.
Thank you, yes.
That was wonderful, Shannon. That was a real breakthrough for me.
Yeah, Shannon has a way with words and insights.
Okay, so are we done with the first one about Sue's comment about being able to, wait.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's right.
Susan's comment was, we will correct the impact. Darwin then said, everybody becomes conscious of their role and each other and the relationships. I think does that sound fair, Darwin? I did a real short note.
It's not here.
Okay,
It sounds so much like justice and peace to me.
Yeah,
Say
yes.
it-
What
Say
do
it
you
again.
think?
Helen, say it again. I was trying to do.
Darwin's thing was everyone becomes conscious. We're mindful of our relationship to all things, each other. Hey, you're working now. Peace. Pandy, tell Pandy he needs to go for the peace pillar.
Mhm.
Did you get those all lined up? I
Yep.
see you're getting the color in there now.
Getting the color in there now. And then
Okay,
it
so
kind of goes right between these two.
Frank,
Jeez.
next comment was from Frank saying that he hopes that we all see the oneness in all of us. I think that's pretty similar. That comes across.
Yeah.
The one people, yes, absolutely. The oneness, and that requires both justice and peace.
Okay.
And a healthy ecology for all of life.
Right.
Yeah.
And Sue also said the same thing with her comment about that we see the oneness, that we are all related.
In the Baha'i teachings, it says that spiritual principle of the oneness of mankind is the key to what is going to solve all of this. That as we learn to recognize our oneness and come into working in collaboration, cooperation, and peace, that our whole society is transforming as a result.
Shannon was the next one to have a comment, and hers was real specific, to be able to see her grandchild able to drink water from the lake behind her house
Uh-huh.
or in front of her house. And also for the grandchildren to be able to eat the wild berries and to be able to appreciate the bees and the other wildlife that we share this planet with.
It seems that certainly ecology, but I'm also having a sense of the other three. Life, respect for life. That's a peaceful scene. Everything in it is peaceful and certainly would require justice. Shannon, what do you think that was
Well-
Shannon's comment, right?
Yeah, I just full disclosure, I'm an Indigenous person and I'm coming from an Indigenous voice, meaning that, I see the relationship with the earth. I can't see it any other way that that supports life when we talk about supporting all of life, whether it's the bees or the fishes of the seas or the four-legged or the two-legged or, our tree nations, all of that, right? So, when I think about that scene, I really think about contributing to a world where that is possible for all two-leggeds to experience.
Beautiful.
I also see something in there of perpetuity, Sharon, and you know that your people have always been able to get what they needed out where they were. You know, they by the seasons, they would know what foods were going to be there, and they knew that, you know, their fish in the lake. But it's very much of a, this is how we do it. This is how we've always done it, and it's good, and we can always do it in the future.
Right. And being in, and I think it goes to that last statement that is in the Earth Charter about, you know, respecting all life and the sustainability of that.
Very good. Renee, we had your hope for the future is to be able to see the sun shining. Me too. Just not as hot some days,
Mm,
but that you love to see the sun.
And that
And then that would be,
breathe that clean air.
Which is justice, definitely justice.
Yes.
that sun is the same for everyone.
Mhm.
And if we're not fighting, we're at peace. We can appreciate it and put it to
Certainly
use.
life, ecology, and justice. Who was it that said this?
Ternay, which one are you looking at?
The seeing the sun.
Ternay.
And Taranay, what do you think it falls under most?
I think it's justice because the sun is shining at all of us around the planet Earth. And if we see each other as oneness, one human family, which the sun does, doesn't discriminate whether it shines here or there or there, then we can sustain our own environment and be kind and loving to each other. And because of that, we will have a clean air. Less pollution.
Absolutely.
So I moved it primarily to justice box, but it really does go to the other ones.
Yeah.
Any other comments on that one? One last comment was mine, to be able to see that the political and business leaders will see the positive things that can be done to get the change done.
Wow.
That's
Good.
right there in justice, right?
Yes.
It seems. What do you think, Helen?
Well, I think it covers them all because and that's where I love this building community and a changing climate conversation. It's like if we get enough people talking, maybe they'll hear it
But
and
whereas,
they'll vote
We-
and they'll make an impact.
yeah,
That these things are the majority of what everybody wants.
yeah.
Okay.
One of the things that Sue and I were looking at is we talked about this. And as I look at all these arrows, I'm not sure the question is even realistic at this point. But we wondered if we were heavy on, if what we do is heavy on one of the pillars and not all of the pillars. When we played this game the last time, we had very little justice or peace in our comments, but tonight we have lots of it, which really excites me. But do you see that we have weaknesses? Are there
Yeah.
places that we need more work? What do you think?
I see that there are fewer arrows pointing to the box number 4,
Yeah.
or maybe that's just because they're different lengths.
Uh-huh.
My thought on that, Helen, is that in the framing of the questions, so this may be by virtue of feedback rather than or just an observation. When you frame it, what are you doing for the earth? It really points to what am I singular doing? And certainly all of the individual actions we all do are important that we do them. But the bigger picture, that question doesn't get to the bigger picture. Now, who's the audience for this? Is it young people, junior high, elementary, high school? Sue?
It's whoever comes that night.
Whoever comes that night. So we don't, you can't really, you can ask the question, what's missing here? But I think the way you've been framing the questions is going to point towards not getting the huge picture.
Okay, what if I had said, one of the groups that I give to constantly is Heifer, because that specific group tries so much to help people around the world rather than just US citizens. What if I had said, I mean, there are other things that we could all have said
Yeah.
that might have gone toward peace or justice.
Or it's where people are. Part of it's the question framing, and part of it is, just using my Synagogue Green Team for an example. As a collective, they're not about one people and justice. As a collective, they're about saving money on utilities and willing to learn the community weatherization process to bring it into the community, which would be justice, ecology, life. But the frame of reference, at least for the not people on the steering committee doing these programs, just doesn't get there. I think it's important to raise the question about, do you notice anything about the arrows, and does that mean anything to you? And what would you change if you could, depending on your group, you could say, well, now that we're looking at this, what might you add or say differently? You might expand it that way.
How about, how about what can we learn looking at this? What have we learned? What are some takeaways that we can say we got from this experience? Because every time we do it, it'll be different,
Absolutely.
So what did we learn today?
Well, you said it. There's less arrows on the larger picture. And, the Baha'i group has been doing this for a long time. And I suspect, Helen, your church has been doing this for a long time, looking at the big, big, big question. But maybe the rest of us have not been looking at the big, big picture from an organizational point of view. Susan, I know you totally get the big picture. That's part of part of all of your training. And I don't know, and Shannon does, because by virtue of, I guess, your culture, Shannon, it's going to depend on the group. So that's what I see is it elicits A, what you ask for, and B, who we are. That's what I see. Nothing wrong, just a comment.
No, but I'm not asking for it right now, but it would be really helpful, Ellen, if you jotted down other ways to frame the questions. So not right now, but after you've had time to think about it a little bit, because I think Sue and I are really trying to frame the questions to get people to just talk, to think about it. This is not a value judgment. Because we don't have a lot of peace, that's not a value judgment. That's just what might we do? What might I do to lead toward peace? But I don't think we're trying to say, well, darn, you haven't done this. That's not our intent. Our intent is look at all we've done. I mean, look at that chart. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Don't
it's
you
quite a
think so,
win.
Sue? I mean, I think that's amazing what we're doing. And we need to look at all the good things we're doing. And okay, well, darn, I need to work a little bit more on, I personally need to work a little bit more on peace. Yeah. I'm not
Or-
saying anything about you. I'm saying I need.
Okay.
Sue, what do you
Yeah,
think?
I would like to hear from the others who haven't spoken in a while. And Shauna, what are you thinking about all this at this point?
Frank?
Yeah. This is a process and we are learning as we go forward. So I like the ideas. Let's put it together and accumulate it and go forward.
Yeah, this is Anjana. So I'm sorry I couldn't answer you before.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is very basic. You're asking for somebody who has lived the life so long. Maybe, to the group that you have right now, they may have lived through this thing, and they are probably now conscious, a lot more conscious than the younger generations, So I don't know if we can do something to form some thoughts, like the other people said, that can help the younger generations to look at.
I think that's a good point with thinking about, you have to think about who's the age that you're targeting with that. I thought this discussion with this group of people here tonight was really good. And it's a great conversation tool. Would the same
Conversation.
questions work with younger kids?
Well, we just have to try, don't we? We'll see.
Yeah.
And so the idea is we're trying out different ways of getting this information, getting a conversation going. And maybe we could hear from Darwin. Is he still with us? I can't see.
No, he replied in chat that he ran out of bundles.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe that's
And,
power.
RNA, did you have any comments?
No, that's a discussion has been very fruitful and moving forward. No, I have to
Okay.
understand.
All
Yeah.
right. Well,
I
I
have
think,
other thoughts, but I'll share them next time.
okay. Okay, so I want to thank you all. Susan, thanks for running the show, and and Ellen, thank you for our beautiful chart that we ended up with. And,
Yes,
I need
yes.
how to do that. I need a
Yeah.
lesson.
Okay,
Thank you all.
great.
Okay.
Okay, everybody,
Yeah, you got a good
Mhm.
framework here.
you got a good
Yes.
start.
Facilitators.
Okay, thank you all.
Yeah.
Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
For letting me crash the party.
All right.
Bye-bye.